Hello, accelerators. How's everybody today? This is episode number 95, and this video series is brought to you by Accelerate Your Success, the business booster program for artists and entertainers. I am Diane Spadola, and I have a really special announcement to make today, and I'm so excited to be able to share it with you. So before we get going, let me just play my little intro. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so I'm actually going to do some slides today so I don't lose my place. So let's just hope we can get the technology to all work together. I am broadcasting today from my new video production studio. In other words, the corner of my guest room where I made this really cool fake backdrop. So you guys know I try to be as authentic as possible. I have little tape on the floor in my little corner so that I know exactly where to stand. I've actually covered up my face in my laptop so that I cannot see my own face, which will hopefully make me feel a lot better, because today I discovered a half an hour ago that I had done 4 Zoom calls without ever finishing my makeup this morning. So kept on wondering why I looked so tired and bedraggled in the Zoom calls. But I finally figured it out. No mascara and no lipstick and no rouge. So for you, I've corrected that problem. So let's get going on my slide presentation, and we'll just have to hope that this works. The lights are so bright, I can't even see. Okay, so back on my little squares, here we go. So first of all, I want to give you 5 things for how you can have your business survive in the pandemic. Now, I talk about these things a lot, and in fact, I have a really cool article that I'm happy to share with you, or you can find it on my blog at accelerateyoursuccessprogram.com. It includes 12 things that you can do to survive the pandemic as an artist or an entertainer. But first and most importantly, you need to figure out what your ideal customers, the people that you've served in the past and who have given you money for doing what you do, what do they need now? Not necessarily your skill, but what is the root thing that you provide? For example, is it joy? Is it festivities? Is it smiles? Is it memories? Is it surprise? Is it celebration? Is it family fun time? Is it imagination, artistry? I don't know what it is, but it's not face painting, and it's not balloons, and it's not magic. It's something much bigger than that. And when you're thinking about how to pivot during the pandemic, you need to figure out what is that big thing that you are delivering to your customers, and how can you deliver it in a different way. Secondly, if you don't know how they are viewing you and what they expect from you, you need to go out and ask them, okay? And you might even want to put together a survey like I did this week for the people in my industry, the face and body painting and artistic entertainment industry, asking them, how are things different now than they were before? What do they need now? Do they need a way to entertain their kids? Do they need a way to entertain themselves? Do they need a way of having a celebration? Do they need something that's going to be like a pick-me-up? All of those things, when you anticipate your customers' needs, all of those things are going to go into your melting pot, if it were, to determine what you can do for them now. And believe me, there's a lot of options. For the last 5 months, 6 months maybe, the driver's seat has scheduled guest speakers every second week of the month in order to share a sample pivot for somebody that's in our business, okay? Each one of those training webinars has enabled an idea to come to fruition, including the startup costs, the step-by-steps, the how to get going, the positives and the negatives for doing this in the middle of a pandemic. All of those things are things that we're training in the driver's seat. So if you are not a member of the driver's seat, hopefully you can consider becoming a member of the driver's seat. And if you're interested in more free material, you can become a member of the Accelerate Your Success group on Facebook, which is where I'm broadcasting now. So once you've figured out what they need, you are going to stay in touch. You're going to lean into them. You're going to share what it is that you're doing, including things that if you're only practicing, you're going to share that too. Maybe it'll give somebody an idea for what they could be doing with their kids at home. So once you figure out what they need, then you're going to pivot your business in order to deliver it. You might need to find a new way of sharing your autistic joy. That's the guest speaker that we're hosting next week in the driver's seat. She had a fantastic paint and sip business, paint parties in a studio. She also went out to restaurants. She went to host house to deliver lessons in painting, either on a canvas or a piece of wood or a sign, all different things. All right. When the COVID shutdown happened, her entire business had the capacity to go up in smoke. But she decided to pivot, and she is coming to the driver's seat next week to share with you what she did, how she did it, and how you can do it too. So for those of you who aren't aware of the driver's seat, let me share. Oh, problem with this is my mouse is so tiny, I can't see it. All right, so this is the driver's seat. For a small monthly fee, you are provided with a monthly training webinar in marketing and business development. You're provided with a monthly guest speaker sharing a pivot in a 1-hour training video or webinar, usually live, so that you can get your questions and answers taken care of. And that is what I'm going to be opening up to you, all of you, next week. And all you have to do is register, and I'll tell you how to do that in a minute. So then on the third week of the month, we have a monthly coaching call, which is on anything that you need help with. It's a live Q&A with me, and I can provide as much expertise as you're willing to listen to. Then we also have a community. Oh, and the fourth thing, which is actually probably the most fun, is that I provide done-for-you social media content. So celebrating those funny holidays or celebrating whatever month it happens to be. And I also share with you stock photos that you can drop into your social media profiles so that you don't have to do the work of creating graphics on your own. These things range from pretend to be a time traveler today, to bake a loaf of bread day, to talk like a pirate day. But I tell you what are the holidays coming up in the next month, and then I share with you done for you content that you can just drop into your social media profiles. Lastly, we have a fantastic community of like-minded artists that are all struggling to pivot their businesses and are trying to identify what is the best way of going forward in the midst of this global health crisis. And then, most of all, I help people with accountability and problem solving, and some would say I'm just a really good butt kicker. So hopefully you'll join us. Let me give you the link. I cannot find my mouse. So here's the link for the driver's seat. If you'll notice, it's basically about taking your joy, putting you in the driver's seat so that you can be the commander of your own journey. So next week, I'm going to allow you to test drive the driver's seat, and I'm going to have you come along and join us when we have our guest speaker. This is Heidi Easley. Heidi Easley is in charge of a company called Texas Art and Soul, and she has been providing paint parties for years. However, like I said, when the shutdown happened, her whole business could have gone up in just an overnight. But instead, she pivoted her business, and now she's teaching fun paint parties online. She's providing art kits to people that want to do it at home. And she's also supporting an entire community of people, teachers, artists, creative, crafty individuals just like you. She's supporting them through her paint party headquarters. And she's going to come on over to the driver's seat next week, and she's going to teach us how she does it. So won't you please join us to see Heidi Easley, our guest speaker, next week? Let me give you the link. For Pete's sake. Sorry. I'll give you the link in a second. This is live, folks. Always complicated when it's live. So this is where you're going to register. Okay. You're going to go to www.accelerateyoursuccessprogram.com and then /guest webinar. Meanwhile, you can join our Facebook group, which is where we provide all kinds of online learning tools, resources, templates, guides, short videos, community of like-minded artists. There's close to 800 people in the Accelerate Your Success group, and that is free. And next week, the driver's seat will be free too, just for one day when we're hosting Heidi Easley to take us and our painting online. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll have a chance to join us next week. Go to the link, register for the free webinar, and you'll get a reminder on the day that Heidi goes live.